Okay, Juan-Carlos, Danit, wanna join us?
¿Nos quedamos aquí?
Yeah, please. Let's bring a chair for Bernat. Okay. Yes. We need a mic for Danit, please. Yeah, vamos a sentar aquí. They're gonna give you a hand mic. Okay? It's okay to a hand mic. Yeah. Luis, ¿ya? Siéntate. ¿Sentamos?
¿Dónde nos ponemos?
Como queráis. So very interesting. It's like almost you can think about the different scales, the different roles when introducing additive manufacturing into a production ecosystem. No? And I've been, as you know, we're working mainly in a very top, bottom-up approach and trying to empower people in the use of these tools. But the question always is when money talks, no? What money talks into this new ecosystem, and how to not only change the production process, but actually change the business model, which, I don't know, you give away some probably profit, but you gain value. No? So I probably want to hear from you, Juan-Carlos, on what has been this experience, like almost like a very personal level, on changing your production line and going directly into using additive manufacturing, or thinking about making a product that is massively used as eyewear, using advanced manufacturing. You have to invest, but then you have to put a price into your products. It's really affecting that. How do you play with those numbers a little bit in terms of business?
Well, it is still a matter of I wouldn't say trial and error, but we are trying different business models around the scanner and the 3D printing, because the scanner not only allows you to make a 3D printed eyewear, but you can select from the inventory of an optician the best fitting solution, for example.
Yep.
Regarding price, as I mentioned in my speech, price is still slightly high, especially in the metals, especially titanium. For polyamide, we are reaching a position in which it's really competitive. And then the problem is finding the best business model. How do you let's say, sell or rent or make a pay-per-use of the different pieces of the ecosystem? The scanner, the virtual try-on, we have a platform in which you can order directly, and it goes directly to the different companies that make the frames. So actually, we are not making the frames ourselves, because nowadays you see the technology is evolving so quickly. Yep. That if you don't have a very high volume, it doesn't make sense to have the machines at home.
Okay. So I think that there is also a question of design, no? Because as you were in your conclusion of your talk, Luis, you were talking about the design, the ownerships of first of all the design files. When you modify it, how you keep track of that, who takes the value, etc. And I guess that also when you have this, it becomes like an open platform, because you can make almost anything. No? You can make an entire dress, and I would like to hear and many more things. But I would like to hear from, as a designer, Danny, how do you see yourself evolving? When you see all this ecosystem being created, and what do you expect to happen in the next coming years for you? Probably, what would be your aspiration as a designer? Do you see yourself working within a big firm, or are you actually building up, this new way of making fashion by yourself? And you see that yourself pushing that?
Thanks.
Yeah. Let me see.
Okay. So first of all, yes, you were right. The only limited we have with this technology is our imagination. So for me as a designer, personally, I feel like I have opened a door of endless possibilities with creation and designs. Right now, I try to go mass production. It is very difficult, like you probably know. The main challenge is right now is the time that it will take you to print something. So it's the main expensive, I found with 3D printing, the main expensive part is the time that it will take you to print something. But let's say to print a dress will take me around, when I was working on this project, it took me around 300 hours. But now there is a printer that is 3 times faster than the one that I was using a year ago. So it only shows us that this technology evolving so fast, and in no time we will be able to print a garment in a few minutes from our house. So for me personally, I am very curious about sharing my knowledge with as much people I can talk. Because like you said on the other panel discussion, I think the way we will break into this technology and we will open it to a lot of people is if we share our knowledge with each other and not like lock our ideas like we used to do on the 70s, right? So now I'm trying to explain my creation process and like give away my recipe of how to make clothes from home. And how I see the future, I think the material will be better and they will feel like regular fabrics. We already know. I know there is a few companies working on a filament that feels like polyester, because this is something you can actually melt. So I'm very curious, how is it going to look like, because it's going to open endless possibilities for the fashion industry and for the customers to be more independent when they choose what I want to wear.
So sharing knowledge, being connected with a global network, collaborate with other people, learn from each other. I think those are values that probably the new generations want to see, and also in the large industries and their big moves, no? And I think that you are making a fundamental move now. HP is really pushing the limits in saying, you know what, we're going to have fabrication on demand, and actually you're going to go to a store and they're going to have a stock. But actually we're going to be able to provide the technology for people to get things done on site in a matter, minutes, hopefully, and also with materials that actually feel as they should be. Where do you think you can play a role? Maybe it's related with the ownership of that data or the information about how products are made, in which you don't disconnect from these aspirations. And she just said it. It's not me. You want to share your knowledge. How do you? It's not like you get fueled into IP protected, closed things, and actually we find a way in which yes, sharing and open is good, but it's not going to be free. But also, IP protected designs are not going to avoid these dynamics, which are they add value. So, where do you think that you can play as a big shaker of all this industry as in the future?
So today, we're still struggling with the basic vectors, no? Speed, quality, cost, no? I think it's already an advantage versus traditional methods. But, if we push on that vector, speed, quality, and cost, I think that's when the things are going to grow and scale.
Yeah.
The next bottleneck we're going to find is designs, because the designs that have been fabricated the traditional way, they will not take full advantage of that. So there's several tracks that HP is doing to kind of make that not be a bottleneck. That's actually part of my main job at HP. So one of them is working with big CAD companies.
Yep.
So the 3D big CAD companies of the world, like Autodesk, Dassault, Siemens, PTC, they have tons of 3D modeling CADs, and they need to be able to understand that 3D printing is a different technology that requires different design methods and different tools, and they're not there yet. So there's been a lot of dialogue in the last years to really influence their roadmap so that they embed those capabilities inside, and so you can really do that. I mean, I know how Bernat works. He takes one software on one side, and then he writes a script to output the file, and then you add color on another one, and that's not productive. You need to clean that pipe so you can really be productive. Another big vector is just simply educational. I mean, there's going to be, the people have been learning about injection molding for 30 years. It's just not going to disconnect that easily, So I think there's a new generation coming up that needs to have that new mindset in mind. A lot of my boss son, he says as he's playing with, what's the name of that, voxel? Minecraft. So Minecraft is a game, but it's a different way of design worlds using building blocks. So that is a game, but it's also a design tool. So I think that intersection between design, gaming, and production is going to be a lot more closer to people than they were many years ago. And that's a vector that we need to keep pushing. So we do some work with universities and designers like Bernat. We need to do a lot more of that for sure.
Okay. Connecting with Bernat now, and I was shocked about one of your slides that says that we have a lot of things in hardware, but very few in software. There's a whole room of mass customization tools, etc. No? We had Paul from Autodesk previously in the panel, so it would be nice if you two can talk. They have plans that they are not all there yet, and I agree with you. There is a lack of probably more user-friendly kind of software, no? But this brings the idea, that designers are afraid somehow of getting everyone designing and making. Two things. One, designers claim that we will fill the world with really ugly things. And the other one is what's the role of a designer once everyone is a designer, no? So yourself, that you're actually working in opening these tools and experimenting as a designer, but also as an enabler. How do you think it's going to be this relationship when I stop being a designer, when I become a consumer, or if we're going to have like a really boundaryless kind of relationships?
Yeah, that's this I don't know, but that's very interesting challenge. No, how to do it, because it's not, the things don't substitute one thing to another, but we're gonna use our skills in another channels, let's say. So for example, I'm working towards trying to create tools for others to allow to design, allow others to design, right? So, and in that way, I would embed my professional skills of ergonomics, of usability, of manufacturability, and all these things into kind of templates of softwares that allow other people to design. And then the people would add their taste, their preferences, their features, but within the frames defined by the profession. It's something like that. It's a, yeah, but still, there's lots of things to be done. So now we are seeing some examples of parametric design where you define things, and also I'm totally not afraid of people designing. I really embrace it and encourage it. No? So it's, I think you just need to have the right tools. So, for example, when you take, let's say, the Apple pages, the word processing of Apple, everything looks nice there. So everything you do, it looks nice. Why? Because the template is very well designed. The fonts, the margins, the weights, and it always more or less looks good. So I think that's the role of designers, creating these platforms, these templates to allow design to happen from other people.
So unfortunately, I've been asked to just have one round of questions. We have to end of the panel. I would love to see, probably just with a couple words, and I will be really random. How do you think that a designer like Danit can work with you?
Designing frames for us, clearly. We have been in touch with him already.
Yeah, already? No, with Danit.
No,
right?
sorry, with Danit.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe making frames
we can make the frames
that make
fashionable frames design.
Sure.
How would you like to work with HP and with Luis?
With HP, I have to try your printers first of all. There is so many ideas we can think about, but yeah, definitely I would love to try the new printer. Very curious about it.
Luis, in how many years I'm going to go and buy my shoes and they will be produced on site?
5 years?
Okay, 5 years. Nike, get ready. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias.